the overtime as needed, but then the big one here, we recommended future twinning, that only really kicks in theory, is when blue water is in. I wrote, is that what that number 5 says? Because I don't read it that way.
Number 5 is to deal with the $300,000 of immediate repairs
By Atlantic Shores and South Huron. And what is undertaken the same time frame? Oh, as the new STB expansion upgrade. Oh, okay. All right, now thank you. So where do we have this business where the blue water trigger comes in? Does that needs to be in here or not? I don't know. Thought it was. Okay. I'm just thought.
We left out what we had discussed in South Huron and blue water because we have only submitted a proposal, and it wasn't before the board as one of our concerns at the previous board meeting. So we want to give time to deal with a new issue of blue water want to share in the cost of the trunk sewer on a full proportional basis. The question of the upgrades of PS2 required for additional capacity, those are all new that we just forwarded to blue water, so we didn't think it was appropriate to put them in here. All these other points that are here, the 7 are things that had been discussed previously, we met, discussed, and then we itemized it here. That's why it's not there. So this only deals with the 5 is to deal with the $300,000 of the media, and 6 is to deal with the other components of overtime in the report that's identified as necessary, when necessary, they're identified, they replace them. And that's the $700,000.
Well, speaking for me, that totally makes sense because really the other issue when we were going to twin was never part of the original discussion. We just knew that it would happen. Fair enough with me. Thank you. That's good. Yep.
I would move the recommendation as printed.
Okay. Are you seconding?
I'll second with a friendly amendment. I think we have to go further than this in terms of the lawyers looking at this and the staff looking at this and bringing something back to this board to be ratified before it goes to council to vote. This is not, I don't think there's enough legalese in here yet to, I'm sure we can get there, but I mean, our council has to talk about a little more specific than this, and I think the lawyers need to take a crack at this with the staff.
I think this should be very time sensitive though.
Yeah, I think we can take these recommendations to our council to discuss them. In the meantime, what else we want in that agreement with the legal. It's got to all happen together.
Number 7 is contentious.
Well, it is contentious, but we have to get together and talk about that with legal. The council isn't going to accept it until we're satisfied with it. But to say we have to get the legal first before we take it to council, I think we have to have discussions at our council. It's got to work together.
Does this not just keep moving it ahead?
Yeah.
I agree there's others in here because council, I believe, the legal is mentioned in other spots in this agreement. I agree with, I think this just keeps moving it ahead.
This is the recommendations can be as they are, and I think what you're talking about is further motion is how we make this happen.
Yeah.
And it says in the beginning recommendation, says by clear, subject to approval from respective councils. In that you will be getting legal advice, we'll be asking our legal and whoever else the tea leaves are asked to. and then we come to an agreement. So I think you're covered.
I guess it's the time. It's the time frame. You don't want to keep moving this back and forth as a football. You got 2 seasons now. So however we can do that expeditiously is what I'm concerned about. I don't want to have a discussion to our council and it's got to come back to the ratification. We got to go back to our council. We're going to be camping out here for.
Well, the recommendation is saying that this is what we want to happen, and we want this to happen and be
that is us to do, to get our legal thoughts on it, we gotta do it quickly, as you say. Whatever happens after today, we gotta keep it moving, and we have to get that, before our, we also going after the special counsel to get this all in place, and get a little bit of it. It's going to take.
Further discussion on the recommendation?
Well, one of the things, I guess, is that we have to, Ben, your land Shores are gonna have to rescind the motion that was had for the full bill. I mean, that's gotta be done now, the next meeting for sure, because if that's not done, then there's no point in us coming back to having more meetings. If you're still traveling down that same trail. You gotta make a motion, you're going full bill, single training, so everybody's on the same track.
If we, these recommendations will go to our council at our next meeting, and we will make the appropriate motions and get the appropriate legal to, go that way.
When is your next meeting, then?
Monday night.
We don't have them, but I think the way, what I'm hearing here now, and, two council sitting across from him, I believe we're going to have our special. Pretty important stuff, we have to have two.
Yes, yeah, like, with all due respect to, okay, another motion, but the motion we have here, it seems pretty clear that each council will go back and see if they can, like in our case here, it's number 7. If we can get an agreement with you, so so we'll be having a meeting, I guess somehow, and make that motion to start that over the next while, if it can happen. And assuming it does, I only see that this, coming back to this table, it'll either be you have an agreement or you don't. There'll be no more, oh, let's look at each other and then go back. So that's why I can't support even a motion with having lawyers. I'm assuming you're gonna have your lawyers. If our council votes on this number 7 to try to get an agreement, then we'll do it in good faith, and we understand it'll be before the 31st. And so, and then we actually, coming back to this meeting, we'll all know what the answer is long before. As pointed out, there's a decision that they just pointed out, so that's why I don't think.
These points are only going to be approved if they're, by the respective councils. The councils don't agree with this stuff, right? So this motion just means that this board's approving. So let's go back to the answer.
Yeah.
Get on with your
Oh, yeah,
work.
for sure.
Okay. Anything else? Any other discussion on the recommendation on the 7 points? All in favor? Carried. That's, do we need direction? I guess each, council knows what they have to do, but this, we have to direct our staff to work with the other staff, to do that.
Well, I think that, if I may, I think that comes by first, our council has to decide we're gonna do this. Not, this group can't tell our
Nope.
staff what to do. No, really, that'll be at your, whenever you have a council meeting. I guess we're gonna have to make, I guess you probably.
Are we gonna put some dates to this in terms of what we're working toward? We know the 31st is the end.
We don't have a lot of time, but we need
No, we don't, so
Do we need a week from today again, following our next council meeting, for us? And the next council meeting on the eighth.
That is the case, we need to have our meeting. That's all I'm thinking about.
Well, we need
But I think we do have to.
How soon can our lawyers and staff get together and work on this? When they know the direction we want to go, they can work on that before we make it
on 7.
on 7 for subject approval.
They can't do that.
You cancel.
Yes, correct.
So you're saying we can't talk about number 7 until your council meets and says it's okay to talk about number 7?